Welcome to the CiiTA Education Series, what every manufacturer needs to know about the 340B drug discount program.
Hello, I'm Jason Hardaway, Managing Partner of CiiTA LLC. Today we're going to be discussing one of the murkiest aspects of the 340B program, specifically the for-profit companies that are managing or otherwise consulting to covered entities in their 340B participation. You will be surprised how many companies are actually on your 340B payroll.
The original intent of the 340B program assumed that covered entities would capture essentially all of the margin generated by 340B discounts and use the funds in direct support of their mission. However, as the program has evolved, this is no longer the case. Remember, all of the revenue generated by the 340B program comes from discounts borne solely by manufacturers, and not all of it goes to the covered entity. In fact, much of it goes to for-profit companies that have flocked to the 340B industry specifically because of the revenue opportunity it offers. Virtually all of these companies are unregulated by the 340B program. Today, manufacturers should be asking themselves, just how many for-profit companies are on my 340B payroll? Let's take a look at how this happened. The original intent of 340B was to allow covered entities to purchase drugs at deep discounts, then distribute them to qualified patients and keep any margin that resulted from a given claim. In the earliest days of the program, covered entities were allowed to contract with only one pharmacy to dispense 340B drugs. The compensation or dispensing fee received was modest, and the covered entity would retain most of the available 340B margin, often up to 97%. When the single pharmacy limit was eliminated in 2010, there was an immediate growth in the number of pharmacies a covered entity would use to dispense 340B inventory. For large covered entities, pharmacy networks can number in the dozens. With this growth came the need for providers to use a Contract Pharmacy Services Administrator, or CPSA, to manage their 340B partnerships. These organizations receive a fee for each qualified claim. With the introduction of an administrator to the mix, many contract pharmacies noticed the margin opportunity and started demanding higher dispensing fees. The combination of CPSA fees and higher dispensing fees lowered covered entities' share of 340B margin to around 80%. As 340B claim volume grew, PBMs began to notice lost rebates and administrative fees. Increasingly, many PBMs now charge for 340B transactions equivalent to the amount of lost rebates and fees, or demand to be compensated at 340B acquisition cost. When PBMs demand a fee, the covered entity's share of the 340B margin can drop to less than 75%. Finally, we come to the biggest profit-seeking move of all. Despite the fact that for-profit health plans were never intended to participate in 340B, there was a growing trend of what is called saving share between entities and payers. In the saving share model, a payer will negotiate with a hospital or other covered entity and agree to authorize payment for certain 340B prescriptions in exchange for a percentage of the spread. This percentage can range from 25 to 75% of the available margin for each claim. In addition, most saving share arrangements are negotiated by an independent consultant who also takes a cut. When all is said and done, a covered entity working within a saving share arrangement is likely to see its margin drop from 97 to 33%. This was never intended by the original framers of 340B. Let's review the implications. Growth and high margins have attracted various for-profit companies to the 340B space. They are for the most part unregulated, and their incentives are aligned to drive 340B claim volume. Interpretations of 340B regulations by each company can vary significantly, both from the program's original intent and even from their own covered entity clients. None of these for-profit service providers are aligned with manufacturers. It is therefore imperative that manufacturers monitor and manage 340B sales themselves in order to avoid diversion and duplicate discount exposure. That's where CiiTA can help. As the recognized leader in 340B advisory services and market intelligence for pharmaceutical manufacturers, CiiTA believes our clients need three things to successfully navigate the 340B program: knowledge, action, and support. Our products help manufacturers comply with 340B program requirements and mitigate its financial impact. CiiTA services include internal training for contract and compliance personnel, compliance assessment of selected covered entities, compliance dispute resolution including 340B audits, as well as ADAP formulary tracking and state-by-state Medicaid 340B requirements. If this information has been useful, please let us know. We would love to hear from you. Contact us at www.ciitallc.com, or you can email CiiTA's managing partner directly at jhardaway@ciitallc.com. Thank you for listening.